Welcome to #No Filter Healthcare Podcast. This is where reality meets medicine, raw, unscripted, and uncensored. Co-hosted by healthcare aficionados Taylor Dunn and Tamara. Ready to deep dive into the heart of healthcare? No filter, just facts. Let's get started.
Welcome to #No Filter Healthcare. I'm your co-host, Taylor Dunn.
And I'm your other co-host, Tamara. And today we're joined by Jean Anderson, COO, and Steve Turley, the CEO of DentaSEAL Pro.
Yeah, thank you for being here today, Jean and Steven.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, so Tamara and I had the pleasure of meeting you guys a few weeks ago, and we got to learn more about DentaSEAL Pro and what it is, what it does, and I was so excited. I can't believe this product exists. Yeah, like mind blown, literally. So I'm excited because when I did learn about it, and we'll get into, let you guys actually talk about the product, but I told my family immediately. I'm like, did you guys know that this exists? And I can't wait for everyone to hear, because my family was like, how can we get our hands on that? So I can't wait for this episode to go live for everyone to hear about it. But let's just jump right into it. So Steven and Jean, I'll let you both tell us a little bit about your backgrounds and what led you to your current role with DentaSEAL.
I've been in dentistry for over 40 years, and I came from the dental laboratory part of dentistry. I have worked in laboratories. I have owned my own laboratories. I have traveled the country training dental offices on different types of protocols. So I've been in dentistry a long time. I've done a bunch of different things. And the last few years, I've really been trying to find good products out there, more preventive products for dentistry. So I've owned a dental laboratory in one of the largest dental offices in the country. So that's pretty much my background.
And mine is not in dentistry, never has been, but I spent most of my time in the Silicon Valley as a project manager for several startups there. That was back in the day when the startups were going hot and heavy. And got tired of that, moved back to the Northwest where I'm from, and did a stint in Ecuador for 7 years, because who doesn't? And ended up coming back to the States. And Steve, who I had met previously about 7 or 8 years before we started on this, called me and said, hey, there's a product out here. So he told me about it. He was very excited, because he's always been very much leaning toward preventive and what can help people not have to go in and get a whole lot of restoration done. And he told me about it. I just thought, does this really work? So in looking at it and looking into it and everything, yeah, it works. So we're going to be launching soon, and it will be, I believe, quite a mind blower, just like you said, Taylor and Tamara.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Jean, I think we all find our way to dentistry, even if we're not even trying. I mean, I came from urgent care, and I'm so happy I found the dental industry, the best people I've ever worked with. So,
Good.
yeah, no, truthfully. But okay, so let's jump into some questions. I want to hear more about, this sensitivity product and the application. So, Stephen, you mind telling us about that?
Yes. There's many certain things that could happen to a tooth that could cause sensitivity. And this is really good for when you get recession and things like that in your mouth, when your gums start to recede and you start to get a little bit of sensitivity right around the gums. This is basically what this product was really, one of the things that was really built for. So we do suggest that patients do go in and they do have sensitivity, just to make sure it's not a cavity or a crack or some other lying, thing that's wrong with the tooth, which needs to be fixed or repaired. But for that gum recession where you start to get that sensitivity, this is where this product really shines. And also it really shines in where it, for sealants also, it's a next generation sealant. So in dentistry, that's one of the best things that we use it for.
So teeth get sensitive for a ton of different reasons. So what are some of the parameters that are being taught to providers before they start using this product?
Right. Of course, they need to check and make sure that there isn't a cavity or a crack somewhere. Sometimes, I don't know if you've ever had a crack in your tooth, but when you bite down on something, you feel that sensation. And so they really need to check for that. This product won't help with that. They're going to have to go in and open up the crack and repair it, or go in and repair the cavity. Um, so yes, so those what the dentist really needs to look at that. But yeah, the parameters are, this is a really good way to be able to get rid of that that sensitivity right around the gums.
Okay.
And and then people, once it's applied, it's almost immediate. Right after it's applied, they can start enjoying their favorite cold food and beverages again. It's just amazing how fast. In fact, it's interesting. What we sometimes we ask, what ice cream are you going to go eat right after this, that you haven't been able to eat for a long time? Or I really like ice water. And one lady said, I can't wait till I can go back and start chewing my ice again. But we don't recommend chewing ice, but that's what she liked to do. So she said, now I can go back to doing that and not have the problem.
When it's taken away from you, it's really nice to be able to have the option again. So
yeah. So what flavor of ice cream are you going to go out and get today?
That's
right.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, when we first heard about this product, I have family members with a lot of sensitivity, and they could not believe that this exists because the current treatments that they have just aren't cutting it completely. Of course, it provides, some help, but it's not what you guys are talking about. And so I'm really looking forward to this coming to market. So, and technically it's been around for a long time, right?
It has. And one thing I'd like to add that I might not have added in that first time you asked me a question, is with this product, where there is some training that the dentist and the hygienist will have to go through, because it's going to be a little different product. Instead of coming in a container that has a bunch of product in it, you start smearing it everywhere. It's very little. So there is some training that's involved that we need to take them through to be able to do that.
So yeah, so this product, absolute magic trick. I don't know what you guys did to the minds involved to create this. I love it. So I have to know, this is that no filter question. Can this be used on other dental appliances? Can a consumer apply it? Like, I'm just curious. Tell us the truth, the no filter.
So I'll give you a no filter answer. Yes, this can definitely be used, quote unquote, outside the mouth, because there are removable appliances. They might be a retainer and a liner, such as Invisalign, mouth guards, night guards, dentures. So things that come out of the mouth, this can be applied to, and actually should be applied to, because it repels the bacteria. So the biofilm buildup, which is all the yuck and the muck, and the odors come from that. Can it be applied by a person at home, I think is what you also asked, correct? Not in the mouth. Not in the mouth, but yes, you can take an appliance. You can, quote, the only way I can describe it is to take the wand with the applicator tip and paint it on, and then wipe it off very vigorously, because you want to get a very, very, very thin coat. The thinner it is, the better it performs, which is counterintuitive, but that's just the way it is. So to answer your question, yes, removables outside the mouth. It can be retail, or you can give it to your dental professional and they can do it for you too, if you're just not comfortable doing that part. But whenever it's going to be,
I feel like most people,
yeah,
I feel like most people are going to do the latter there. They're taking it to their dental professional and saying, I don't want to mess this up. Can you, can you do, because it's just, I mean, it's like anything. You'd rather have the pros do it for you than, I don't want to read instructions, even though it sounds very easy. I'd still find a way to mess it up.
it's not just messing it up. It's all the biofilm and all the muck that might be gathered and stuck onto whatever appliance, that needs to come off. And that needs to come off completely. So to bring this to a dental professional, to have them do that part and then apply it is a really good idea.
I agree.
So, Jean, on that front, because I'm just very interested in this product, I've told you guys a million times. I know Taylor said too, like really mind blown. This thing is insane. The one thing I'm curious about is the longevity of it, right? Like how long does it last once it's applied? You know, do you have to go back to the office to reapply it, or how does that
Well,
work?
if it's in the mouth, if it's being applied in the mouth, then you're always going to go to your dental professional, whether it's a hygienist or a dentist, to get it applied correctly and to make sure that it is applied completely. So always the dental professional when it's in the mouth. As far as lasting, it can vary. It can last a very long time. We believe it lasts a lot longer than the current sealants, because the current sealants can flake off, they can crack, they can craze. There's all sorts of things that make them come away from the tooth. With ours, what we suggest, because we're not going to say for you, Tamara, it's going to last this long, but for Taylor, it's going to last twice as long, because we won't know. But every time you go into your dental professional, then it's a good idea to get it reapplied. So if you go in once a year to get your teeth cleaned, and we suggest that you do that at least once a year, then go ahead and get it reapplied. And if it's been applied for sensitivity, it can be checked right there if it's still covering for sensitivity. As a sealant, it's just a good idea to just go ahead, get it on, because it's so very thin, there's never going to be a buildup that anybody would notice anyway. So that's our answer.
Awesome. Yeah, and I feel like it really is based on the person, you know, themselves and, you know, how they treat it as well. So probably keeping it, you know, great and neat and doing all of the instructions is part of part of keeping it on there. But what about brushing your teeth? So do you have to be careful, you know, not to put too much pressure to remove that sealant, or do you not really have to
You
worry?
don't have to worry whatsoever. This is not, once it's put on and it adheres, it bonds very, very quickly. I always like to say right there in the chair, because I like things that rhyme, but right there in the chair, it is bonded very strongly. There's no amount of brushing that will get it off, unless you're brushing with a Brillo pad, then possibly after a while you'll get it off. That's how strong and durable it is.
Right, and if you're getting applied once a year, it's going to be sure and it's going to be there.
Yeah, you can use an electric toothbrush. You can use the one with like Sonicare. It has the sonic cleaning feature, or you can use the manual, the way we do it when you don't have electric going on, and it's none of those will wear it down to where it is actually broken through, comes off, starts flaking. It just doesn't work like that.
When you talk about applying it again, so do you have to remove the current layer that's on, if there is any that is like any residue left from it, before you reapply?
No, not at all, because when it is applied and then it's almost immediately, very quickly buffed off, it's buffed off down to 1 micron. So you could pile this on,
Okay.
1 micron is 100th of a hair. So you could pile this on
Yeah.
for quite a while before you might ever feel it. And indeed, I don't know that you ever would.
And when do you guys plan to bring this to the market? When can dentists start?
I know, I'm too excited.
I know. I'm like, when can I call my dentist and say, I need this?
Me too.
Well, our actual launch date is January 22nd, and we're going to be introducing it in the Chicago Midwinter Dental Show. And from then on, we're going.
Amazing.
We're going as fast as we can go. And we do have distributor that is getting a product out there under a little different name for the public.
Okay.
So that's coming also.
Well, congratulations, guys, and thank you for letting us share this news before Chicago Midwinter. And we'll, our sponsor, Uptime Health, will be there. We'll definitely be grabbing people to come talk to you guys, because they need to hear about this. So for everyone that's interested in learning more about DentaSEAL Pro, you can go to their website, DentaSEALPro.com, or you can find them at Chicago Midwinter. So thank you guys for being here.
Yeah, they may be last here, but they are going to be first out there. So we'll see you guys soon.
Yep. Come see us at our booth at 5028 DentaSEAL Pro booth at Chicago Midwinter.